By the time they arrived at the Great Tomb, the goblins were completely spent. After all, they had just captured over 1,000 people. Just then, Lin Tian spotted something. A dark shape hovered in the sky, a bird-like figure. Its eyes glowed blood red in the shadows. It stared at Lin Tian with sharp focus. The creature had broad, majestic wings, a humanoid figure covered in black feathers, and talons sharp enough to crush bone. A scan revealed its stats. Cannibal Eagle, LV-90. Race, Cannibal Eagle Demi-Human. Titles, Black Meteor, Monster Lord, Sky Overlord. Health, 2,700. Strength, 880. Defense, 730. Skills, Meteor Flash, Stormfeather, Skyfall, Call. Overall rating, 4,000. Lin Tian's mind snapped to clarity. This was the regional monster lord. He recalled Brute mentioning it before. The cannibal eagle-eyed Lin Tian with curiosity. A goblin, riding a dragon? Its intense gaze sent chills down Lin Tian's spine. Are you the leader of this tribe? The eagle asked. Yes, Lord, Lin Tian answered quickly. Please, could you help disperse these monsters? If the monster lord issued an order, the creatures would retreat. It wasn't hopeless yet. But the eagle tilted its head, coldly replying, "Why should I? I can give you 10 humans," Lin Tian said through gritted teeth. It was a steep price, but worth it to protect the rest. It let out a piercing cry. And instantly, the monsters scattered in every direction like startled mice. Relief flooded him as he watched the monster horde disappear. The scent of humans draws monsters from 100 miles away, Cannibal Eagle said. Is this your first time in the Great Tomb? Lin Tian understood now. The fear humans held for this place made perfect sense. Sweat and birth fluids gave off a scent that goblins couldn't mask. We didn't know, he replied, embarrassed. Thank you, Lord. Come, I'll keep my word. The eagle gave a small smirk and followed him into the valley. He ruled the enchanted forest to the east, a fearsome presence cloaked in mystery and power. Never in his life had he consumed so many people. Just a goblin tribe, yet their numbers were staggering. Do you not understand the treaty between the Great Tomb and the church? Are you trying to get yourselves killed? The cannibal eagle barked, snapping out of his stunned silence. Right after, Lin Tian ordered his men to bring out 2 large sacks and give them to the falcon. Receiving the gift with clear satisfaction, the falcon looked back at Lin Tian and said before leaving, "If you run into any trouble in the future, feel free to contact me. I'll guarantee your safety here so you can grow steadily." Lin Tian was a bit surprised. Then smiled, "Thank you for your concern. Lord Falcon, if you're ever craving more, I can offer a few more humans." The carnivorous falcon flapped its wings and soared into the sky. Ha ha ha, then I won't be polite about it. I'll go report the situation to the higher-ups for now. Lin Tian let out a quiet sigh of relief. Finally, he could focus on development without worry. After a while, watching newborn goblins squirm in nests, Lin Tian turned to Gobuyu. Have you counted how many were born? 3,000. There'll be more next cycle. But none of the 10 mutant or overlord-type offspring survived, she replied, recording numbers on a crude wooden slate. She had picked up writing quickly. Lin Tian had only taught her a little while explaining maps, but her aptitude was exceptional. Lin Tian frowned slightly. It seems mutants and overlords are still too rare to replicate reliably. Still, this would suffice for now. Their next goal was to capture animals and monsters to breed more first-tier goblins. Weak as they were, sheer numbers could tip the scales in battle. Returning to his tent, Lin Tian commanded, "Activate the life simulation system," he muttered to himself. No need to risk lives, simulating would be faster. Life simulation system activated. Scenario: first entry into the Great Tomb. After enduring many hardships, you've finally secured a foothold for growth. Your next step: breed a powerful goblin army. You lead your forces into the enchanted forest to capture new creatures. Day 1, encountered several 4th and 5th tier monsters. all slain and brought back to feed the newborn goblins. Next few days, captured 500 first-tier monsters. Carnivorous rabbits and crying face monkeys. Return journey, a 7th-tier thunder mane bear appeared, strength level, 3000. Being female, you captured her to improve tribal stock. Following successes, several more 7th-tier monsters captured and imprisoned as breeding stock. The tribe's quality rose dramatically. After 1 month, breeding efforts resulted in 3,000 low-tier goblins. The plan had succeeded. But just when all seemed well, humans launched a surprise attack on the tribe. Lin Tian looked at the options with a concerned expression. Options. Face them head-on. Rating, 30. Hold your ground. Rating, 20. Negotiate to uncover their motives. Rating, 0. He wasn't concerned with the rating. He wanted answers, so he chose option 3. Simulation continues. No response came. Then, soldiers began descending the cliffs, launching a brutal massacre. Holy guards appeared, flanking you. After a vicious battle, you barely escaped, suffering devastating losses. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed. He understood now. The Lionheart Empire's soldiers, along with the church's holy guards. To think they dared march into the Great Tomb, they must be truly desperate. He immediately halted the simulation to strategize. Simulation summary. When a lion is enraged, ensure it cannot bite. Rating, 10 out of 100. Reward, life points plus 10. Duration, 1 month. Brutal, Lin Tian called. Do you know where the Lord of the Forest lives? The last encounter had been too rushed to get directions. Brutal paused, then replied, highest forested peak around here. That's where their tribe resides. That was enough. Lin Tian had a plan now. If he summoned the cannibal eagle in time, even the Lionheart Empire and the church would be forced to back down. Peace would hold long enough for them to grow stronger. But the empire and the church had become thorns in his side. One day, they would have to be cut away, completely. 1 month passed swiftly. It was the day of the anticipated ambush. Lin Tian had already located the cannibal eagle and warned him. They wouldn't dare, the eagle said, incredulous. The church has a pact with the Great Tomb. Lin Tian kept it simple. I saw their army approaching from outside. Based on earlier events, they're coming for me. The cannibal eagle's expression darkened. Understood. We won't let humans trample the Great Tomb. Not just me, none of the other lords will allow it either. I'll go alert them. Thank you, Lord, Lin Tian said, before hurrying back to his tribe to prepare. Time passed slowly. Outside the Great Tomb, an imperial army assembled, over 10,000 elite soldiers, a force capable of razing cities. Klein, mounted on a savage carnivorous steed, rode before the troops, sword at his hip. Warriors, he bellowed. Today, we don't return until the goblins are wiped from existence. Are you ready? Klein spotted a shadow streaking across the sky. Lin Tian descended, mounted atop a dragon. With fury burning in his eyes, Klein raised his voice. Are you the goblin leader who razed our villages? The sight of Klein's massive army gave Lin Tian a moment's pause, but not fear. You dare forget the pact between the church and the Great Tomb, he called. Is this your declaration of war? You're nothing but a rat skulking in darkness, Klein spat. You're not worthy of a contract. Klein raised his sword, aimed directly at Lin Tian. Do you see the tens of thousands of lions behind me? I won't give you a chance. I'll charge in and grind your bones to dust, for my grandfather and for Alice. Lin Tian, hearing this, raised an eyebrow, a twisted grin curling across his face. Oh? So that's how it is? Let me tell you a little secret. The taste of the sword Saintus was smooth. You shut your mouth. Klein's rage nearly suffocated him. Even the soldiers behind him roared in fury. The sword Saintus, an honored figure across the empire, was beyond reproach. Yet now, she had been vilely insulted. Lin Tian burst into laughter. Oh, you're angry? What, trying to silence the mouth that's tasted those sweet lips? Sweeter than honey, I assure you. You. Klein's eyes turned bloodshot. Your Highness. Let me lead the charge, I swear, I'll crush him right here. Klein's noble facade cracked entirely, a bulging vein on his forehead betraying his boiling fury. Your Highness. Wait, Duke, a holy guard interjected gravely. Our scouts haven't returned. Charging blindly into the Great Tomb could be catastrophic. These elite guards had seen the horrors of the Great Tomb firsthand. Young and hot-blooded, Klein had no idea what truly awaited them. His fury had all but consumed his reason. Lin Tian raised an eyebrow. He lifted a corpse with his right hand and tossed it forward. Are you talking about this one? 10 minutes earlier, on the cliffs above, 2 Imperial scouts had secretly approached Lin Tian's tribe. Looking at the scene below, one whispered in panic. Damn it! Intel said this tribe only had a few hundred goblins, but looking at this, it's at least a few thousand. They've even imprisoned women and monsters. No wonder the Sword Saint fell here. We need to get out and report back, this place is too dangerous. Just as they turned to climb back up the cliff, they were met with a pair of glowing eyes in the darkness. Their hearts clenched in terror. They had been surrounded. Gobu Tian and a group of hero-rank dark goblins clung to the cliffside like spiders, silently watching. Moments later, the desperate screams of the unfortunate scouts echoed through the canyon. Back on the battlefield, when Klein saw the corpse of her scout, she couldn't take it anymore. All troops, hear me, she screamed. Advance, wipe out every last monster in the Great Tomb. The Imperial army stirred like a waking beast, its vast ranks trembling with fury. Each synchronized step echoed like a grim countdown to bloodshed. Ha ha ha. Afraid now? Klein laughed madly. This is the cost of provoking the lions. I'll break every bone in your filthy body. Spurring his warhorse forward, he prepared to storm the forest. But then his eyes drifted past Lin Tian toward the trees. He froze. From the trees, a cannibal eagle emerged. Klein felt his skin go cold. His instincts screamed this creature was death incarnate. Its mere presence was like a blade hovering over their necks. But the eagle ignored Klein. Its chilling gaze turned toward the holy guards. Church. It's been a while. Have you forgotten our pact? One of the holy guards gasped, it's the cannibal eagle. Be on guard. The squad leader, the guardian of the sanctuary, stepped forward, sword drawn. By order of the Pope, we are here to cleanse the goblin. Your interference ends now. He pointed his massive sword toward the tomb. His aura was like a divine wall, unyielding. But the cannibal eagle only sneered. That old fossil's still breathing? When he finally keels over, I'll crush your skull myself. Humans lived mere decades. Monsters, especially the undead, could live forever. And in the deepest part of the Great Tomb, one of the undead ruled supreme. No matter what comes next, I'm here by the Pope's command. Those goblins committed crimes, stepping into the tomb won't shield them. Get in our way, and you die, the sanctuary guardian said coldly. His aura snapped Klein out of his fury. Reigniting the fire, Klein shouted, all troops advance. The army surged like an unrelenting tide. But the cannibal eagle lifted off, wings spreading wide. So you really think the Great Tomb is yours to trample? Countless blood-red eyes blinked open in the gloom. They weren't alone. Dozens of cannibal eagles soared into the sky, joined by the feathered serpent tribe, creatures with the body of a snake and wings of a bird. Most were Tier 7 beings. Legends spoke of a 12th-tier feathered serpent god. More monsters stirred. The Tiger Clan. Goblins. Undead. Even low-intelligence beasts answered the call. 100-legged centipedes. Razor mantises. Spore fiends. Rock giants. Nearly 20 Tier 7 monsters. Thousands of creatures assembled into a monstrous wall of death. The imperial soldiers, tens of thousands strong, were frozen in terror. Lin Tian's eyes swept across the forest. This wasn't just a show of force, it was a declaration. Klein gritted his teeth, raised his sword again, ready to scream another charge. But the sanctuary guardian spoke first. So, the Great Tomb has chosen to protect the goblins? The cannibal eagle grinned. You could say that. The guardian paused, then turned. Duke, withdraw the troops. Klein's eyes widened. Your Highness, what? Withdraw? We're lions, we never retreat. I want to kill that monster. The guardian's voice was low but resolute. This isn't retreat. It's regrouping for a far greater battle. Klein felt his rage subside, as though he'd just glimpsed a deeper truth. He turned back to his army. All troops, retreat. Remember, lions don't flee. We return stronger. Lin Tian watched them disappear, slightly moved. They really did all this, for me? The cannibal eagle chuckled. Not just for you. Your situation gave us the perfect chance to show the church they no longer scare us. I see. Lin Tian began to understand. This cannibal eagle wasn't just reliable, he was political. As Lin Tian turned to leave, the eagle added, grow your tribe quickly. Someone very important in the Great Tomb is watching. They said if you become Goblin King, you'll earn the right to enter the true Great Tomb. Lin Tian nodded, more curious than ever. Maybe there was something extraordinary hidden there. But for now, he had finally secured a golden window for growth. In a year, he could forge an army capable of challenging the empire itself. The Great Tomb, it truly is overflowing with opportunity, he murmured. Lionheart Empire, Imperial City, 5 days later after Klein's withdrawal from the Great Tomb. On the wide Grand Avenue before the cathedral, a massive crowd of furious citizens had gathered. Their shouts thundered like crashing waves, a chorus of rage swelling with every passing moment. Whispers had become wildfire. The Sword Saint had borne a child with a goblin. Public fury had exploded across the capital. Thousands demanded swift justice, no blood. Especially outraged were the villagers from regions ravaged by goblins. Years of grief and loss now surged forth with vengeance. Kill the goblin. Let the nobles lead by example. No monsters in human lands. Avenge my child. She's not worthy to be the Sword Saint. At the heart of the storm, King Charles II was unraveling. Exhaustion clung to him like steam from a boiling pot. Rage consumed him as he stormed toward the Sword Saint's residence. This is madness. We haven't even solved the goblin crisis, and now this. A nun trailed behind him, her voice hushed but desperate. Your Majesty, she's torn between the people and her own child. She needs your guidance. Please, help her choose the right path. Charles II had not slept in days. His face had aged under the weight of his crown. As he entered the cathedral, he asked with tired gentleness. Alice, have you been well these past few days? But his words died mid-breath. In the corner of the room, a small goblin rode a wooden horse, joy lighting his tiny face. He clutched a little sword, waving it with innocent glee. Nearby, Alice tended to him gently, brushing his hair with quiet affection. The king stood frozen, unable to fathom what he was seeing. Because of a goblin, she's changed this much? A pang of regret twisted in his chest. If only I'd acted sooner, maybe it wouldn't have come to this. Then came the cold hiss of steel. With a sharp ring, Charles II drew his golden sword. His eyes turned to ice. Alice, step back. I don't want to harm you. The blade surged forward toward the unsuspecting goblin, whose wide eyes blinked up in confusion. A drop of blood fell to the floor. But before it could strike, Alice caught the sword barehanded. Blood trickled from her palm, but her gaze was unflinching. Your Majesty, what are you doing? The king roared, torn by grief and fury. For the people. For the future of this empire. I must correct your path. But a gleam flashed. Alice's sword was out. The tip now hovered at the king's throat. The entire cathedral fell into suffocating silence. Even the air seemed to recoil. Though Charles II possessed mighty strength, around 5,000 in battle power, he stood paralyzed before the woman he had once loved. Alice's tears streamed down her cheeks. The proud sword saint now resembled a mother on the brink, desperate to protect her child. Must I carry your judgment forever? Must even you turn against me? Suddenly, a golden light burst through the cathedral entrance. It struck Alice like a divine hammer, sending her flying. A robed figure entered, his presence sharp and absolute. It was the cardinal, the church's highest voice. Without hesitation, he raised his hand and chanted, "Divine radiance, holy imprisonment." A radiant column of sacred light descended, trapping Alice in a glowing prison. Her holy power vanished. Her sword lay useless beside her. The king turned away, his face twisted with turmoil. Without a word, he walked toward the exit. As he passed the cardinal, he murmured, "She's in your hands now. I can't do it. Not when I look at her." Alice collapsed to her knees, tears bursting forth. "No, don't kill him. I'll bear the punishment. Just don't take everything. I've already lost my divine grace." The cardinal gazed at her coldly, unmoved. "The Lord did not forsake you. You turned your back on him." Then he turned to the goblin. "I'll deal with this creature." The child looked up, blinking with confused innocence. The cardinal didn't flinch. To him, standing above law and mercy, this was merely duty. A golden beam pierced the goblin's head. Alice's scream tore through the cathedral. It was not a sound, but a soul unraveling. And in that moment, she knew the divine would never forgive her again. Outside, the sea of protesters still roared. "Kill the goblin. The saintess is no longer fit for the sword. She raised a goblin? Disgusting. She's fallen. I used to admire her. Now she's filth." Their cries boomed like a storm over the square. Then Charles II emerged from the cathedral, his expression grim. In his hands was the goblin's lifeless body. As he reached the grand staircase, silence swept over the crowd. All eyes locked onto the corpse. He dropped it before them like a discarded relic. And then the square erupted again. Finally. It's over. What about the saintess? Is she dead too? Good. Let her rot. But Charles II's voice cut through like a blade. "You wanted an answer. Here it is. From this day on, anyone who insults the sword saint will face punishment." The crowd froze. Mouths shut. Words vanished. He turned and walked away, shoulders heavy with guilt. Even he could no longer predict who Alice would become when she awakened. The following day, Charles II sat alone in the royal sanctuary, drowning in remorse. Then the Holy Mother burst in, breathless and panicked. "Your Majesty! Alice, she's gone." The king leapt to his feet, frantic. "What?" It was a disaster unfolding beyond control. If anything befell the sword saint, it wouldn't just be his heart that broke, the entire kingdom could fall with her. Meanwhile, Klein's forces continued their retreat from the Great Tomb. Back in the Goblin lands, a terrifying transformation was underway. A berserk goblin writhed in agony on the ground. "Master, I think I'm evolving." His bones cracked and reformed as smoke rose from his skin. Flames licked his body, but he didn't burn. Instead, new skin grew dark purple, veined with glowing blue webs. From 4 arms, he now had 6. "I can use magic now." Berserk Goblin. Level, 70. Race, Goblin. Class, Dark Mage. Titles, Reborn, Demonized, Insatiable Glutton, Blessed by the Gods. HP, 2000. Strength, 501. Defense, 540. Combat Power, 3100. Skills, Evil Hand, Demon Flame, Forceful Impact, High Pressure Domain. Equipment, none. Nearby goblins grumbled enviously. What's so great about that? We want more meat too. Level 70 sounds nice. Lin Tian lounged on a rock, amused. The forest is full of prey. Hunt, gain experience. Or do you want to be useless forever? One goblin mumbled, but it's dangerous out there. Flames surged around Lin Tian. And you think I live in safety? Right. Got it. We'll hunt. Please don't roast us, master. The berserk goblin stepped forward, burning with eagerness. Master, let me guide them. I feel power inside me that's ready to explode. Lin Tian scoffed. Food isn't free. The provisions are for the young, to keep them from being eaten before they grow teeth. Just as the group prepared to depart, a familiar shadow swept across the sky. It was the falcon. He landed and grinned awkwardly. Lin Tian, I brought someone. A lord I'd like you to meet. Lin Tian raised an eyebrow. More allies? Good. If I ever offend someone strong, I'll need some bodies to throw in front of me. The falcon nodded. He's right behind you. Lin Tian turned, and there it was. A 3-meter-tall creature, like a golden-scaled lizard from a superhero film, loomed behind him. Its scales glimmered like treasure, its gaze locked on the human enclosure with ravenous hunger. Its tongue flicked through the air, seeking scent. Lin Tian quickly opened his interface. Golden mane lizard. Species, demi-human. Level, 88. Combat power, 3990. This lizard's strength isn't all that impressive. Though Lin Tian did ask if the Lord had any interest in humans. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any updates.